These structures, they mean a lot, and they also give confidence to the stakeholders or to the community, entirety of the community, the people that you engage with, which are your clientele, the people that you trade in with, the people who are putting the systems like the KRA, the KIFWA. These are all stakeholders who expect a company which is supposed to be growing to have proper structures. So my brother, I congratulate you, and also I congratulate your team for have made it through the 10 years. As we know, we are facing a lot of challenges in the freight industry, and I believe these challenges are going to be overcome because there is no system, there is no industry which doesn't have challenges. And I think this is the time that freight or clearing and forwarding company, transportation industry have faced the challenges. So we believe for those who have the strengths and structures, they will make it through. And I believe one of the companies which will make it through is Polo. Personally, I am so much impressed because the invitations that we've been getting most of the time are invitations to go and see how big companies have made their targets, making billions, like say Barclays. You're called by a multinational company like say Standard Chartered. You're called by multinational companies like the Medici shipping lines. These are the companies who have been doing such activities. And I would say for such an activity, it gives us a different picture on how we should be operating when it comes to businesses. Yes, indeed, it has been a small company, but for a company to grow up and be where it is today, and even have more projection of growing more and more, these are the ways that we should go. So for all others who have small companies, I think we should emulate and make sure that once you do 5 years, you do a launching so that people can see what you're doing. For Polo, I never knew that there's so much that you're doing. But seeing from the presentation, my brother, congratulations. Na Mwenyezi Mungu aizidishe na iongezee baraka zake. And we as your friends and your partners in terms of consultation, there is one area that personally I did not hear anyone mentioning. The area of maybe you didn't want me to say it, but I will say it because personally I think in company policies there's what we call social corporate responsibility. But he did not tell me to come and say it. But I would like to say this, that Rajab as Polo company, we have been together ever since I was elected the first time as a member of parliament for Lungalunga in 2013. He came on board and told me that give me 5 students who are in need and I will make sure that I give them scholarships until they finish their 4th form. And as we are talking, the first bunch that we finished, they graduated last year and some of them are waiting to go to the university. So the 5 students that we have been paying for full scholarship, 3 of them have made it through. Then probably by the end of this year, they should be going for their degrees. So for that, I also congratulate you, and inshallah God will give you more. And even that kind of a heart for one who is not eyeing for any political seat to come out and tell you that, my brother, I know you're facing a lot of challenges when it comes to students being able to pay for their school fees, but I'm coming on board to assist you and pay for the 5 students, and he has done it. So as Polo team, it is a generation of all of you combined effort. So I also congratulate you all for having been there to make my dreams for the 3 to make it to the university come true. So thank you so much. As I wind up, again, thank you so much for inviting me. But I would want to go to the area that I'm so conversant with these days, because apart from business, but my area of proficiency or my area of prowess is a politician. And as a politician, as a member of parliament, my core fundamental function is to review policies, represent, and I would want to talk about policy issues. Because this industry is facing a lot of challenges. And I believe the challenges are only going to be sorted out when we put proper policies. Because as we know, there is one of the areas that is really affecting the trade in Kenya. Leave alone the international where we talk about East African countries, but more also the Kenyan business in terms of importation. There is a policy, I believe it was an executive order, because it's a policy it ought to have passed through parliament, but it didn't. That as of now we are talking, you cannot import goods and decide to inspect them in Kenya. They have to be inspected from where they come from. But my belief is that we are building other countries and killing our own economy. Because as we are talking, Kenya used to import like 600 containers every week. But now, the number has dwindled to about 120 containers every week. Because most of the businessmen who used to import, most of them are importers who prefer doing inspection in Kenya. And that should have been a provision that should have been put, because any system has to have an alternative. And I believe it is a move that has been done by the minister and me as a stakeholder, as a person who has been in this industry, as a person who appreciates and understands the challenges that we are facing. I would personally, next week, put down a petition in parliament to make sure that we diffuse the position that has been taken by the minister, so that we can have a provision of importation. You can decide to do inspection from the port of exit, from the port of loading, and also you can decide to do inspection at the port of exit, which is Kenya. Because generally, the purpose of a government to have a department which deals with testing and inspecting is for a provision that you might be allowed to bring cargo and inspect them in Kenya. And that has a penalty. It's not like it's something that will be the same as a person who, as the importer who inspects from the port of import, from the port of export. But there are penalties that are normally charged of 20%, whereby you pay the 20%, Kenya Bureau of Standard are also able to collect revenue when it comes to that. So that is a challenge which has really messed up with the importation, and the numbers are going down. But as a policy maker, I have already engaged my few friends, colleagues, who are willing to bring into parliament so that we can discuss it and diffuse it. Also, in regard to the KIFWA, this is an association which exists, have long time been existing, and I was once one of the legal advisors of the chairman of KIFWA when I used to be an active member of the clearing and forwarding. But after exiting and becoming a politician, we've always been praying for such a bill to come to parliament. And believe you me, the engine of this country is importation. The engine of this country is logistics. And the engine of this country is clearing and forwarding, whether we like it or not. But it's so unfortunate that we have not been featured in to become the stakeholders, because as you said, we've always been pedestrians. But now we don't want to be the menu, but we want to be the people who discuss the menu. And that is being part and parcel of the system itself. So my brother, bring it on. Make sure that before it is published, make sure you call us and give us the insight. Because I would say, if we have members from Mombasa, from Coast Province, who are willing, I will tell you we can have almost 20. And if you bring them on board and give them a briefing before we go to Parliament and challenge it, and I believe we have the powers, we have the ways on how we can convince our colleagues to take it through. So I believe that is a good idea, and it is a venue, it is an avenue that we all want to go to. Because the moment we have teeth as KIFWA, then I believe we are going to bring some sanity in this industry of logistics and clearing and forwarding. Otherwise, as I close down my small talk, I would also want to take this opportunity, take advantage of this congregation and tell you that I've served 2 terms as a member of parliament. And my intention, God willing, by the grace of God, and I believe, manichitahada wajada, wherever there is a will, there is a way. So I believe the coming, inshallah, if God keeps us well, the coming general election, I will not be existing in the ballot of member of parliament, but God willing, I would be vying for governorship of Kwale. Makofi ya governor 2022. Nyote mwende mchukue kura Kwale. Mambo ya pepe. I'm taking advantage of this great occasion so that you can know, because 1 and 1 makes 2. 1 and 1 will create 1 million. So I believe I might have raised this issue here today, but Bala and your few friends and others, please, this time round I expect much support, because it's not like a member of parliament seat or a constituency, a sub-county. This is a whole county, and I will need everyone to come on board. Those who are my friends, those who are my supporters, thank you so much, and may God bless you all. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.